Hello everyone, it is me, Dayflower, and today we're going to look at my bingo card for Path of Exile 3.26. Some of these are kind of memey, and some of them are predictions, and some of them are things that I want. So first of all, I want a transfigured chain hook. I want to see chain hook of pooling. You like shoot out the hook and pull someone in, kind of like what Brutus does in Act 1. I think that would be pretty cool, although I understand it would be jank as fuck. So we will probably never get this. New archetype, Spell Dot. The Spell Dot skills have been pretty bad for a while. They just kind of completely pale in comparison, mostly due to a lack of really good scaling options. If you compare them to any sort of build that does like instant application critical hits or like um ailments that scale with hits like poison or ignite, those are kind of bad. And if you look at the best reap builds in the game right now, like the ones with like the most damage that are also kind of tanky enough to exist, you're seeing like a lot of hit based elemental damage conversion reaps, which is really fucking sad. And like, cause Reap is like it's a cool spell with Spell Dot. Or there was like the Exsanguinate Mines build, and that was just like instant application hit based. It probably crit. I don't know. I don't think dots were a big part of it. New item influence. I think this is kind of a gimme. This is pretty obvious. They are going to add the originator, and the originator is going to be some kind of really big pinnacle boss. I think a new influence type for it absolutely makes sense, because for like a lot of the major eldritch entities, we either got a new kind of influence, like a lot of like, let's look at the pinnacle bosses. So like Elder Shaper, they got their influences. We got conquerors with influence. Cyrus was like related to them, and like they're kind of their like super daddy monster. So he like, I think he drops their influences and awakened gems or something. And then we get Eater Exarch, who have their own kinds of weird new influence as well. And then the Maven is like their daddy, sort of. Except I think she came out first, and she just stole awakened gems from Sirius, whatever. I think we're gonna get a new influence with the new guy. One click essence. I want to be able to click my essence monsters one time. This will save me thousands of clicks over the course of playing the game. It's a good change. Coda goes Toda. Toda goes core with really big quality of life. I think an annoying part of Toda was having to like walk around to all the different people. That could have just been like a menu. And I think like Toda happening like you're in a menu and you're doing stuff, or it's like more condensed. Maybe you put all the NPCs in your hideout. That would be kind of fucked up. You have to make like a Toda hideout design. I don't want that. I want like a nice, smooth Toda experience, and I also want like the monster scaling to not be really fucked up as well. Like I don't care if it turns me into like a shitty weak baby man who like has a preset build where I'm like a Toda scaled down build. That'll still be fun just to like run around with my dudes and fight and shit. Snova's Frostbolt's 50% less non-cold. I think this is like overkill. I just I'm sort of really tired of this skill. Like people are like, "Oh yeah, this is really good. It's one of the best." And it's like, "Yeah." And I think it's kind of like what old Ignite DD was, where except more egregious, cuz like it's very strong with like the low gear, and it you do need to actually get items to scale it. It's not like DD where it's kind of free. But also, on the other hand, it's still like pretty free because you're just getting everything from one stat. And the only reason it's on Ice Nova of Frostbolts in particular is because the skill has a really high damage effectiveness, because it has like some amount and then it retriggers itself like 4 or 5 times. And it's like, I guess early on, this might just stay because, oh, you have to trigger the Frostbolts too. But like, I like pressing my buttons. I love it when I get to like do Frostbolts and then Ice Nova them a bunch and then throw more Frostbolts. That's fun for me. I like getting to press my buttons. Essence Corrupt button. I want, if I have like a corruption essence in my inventory, give me like a big red circle on top of the essence that corrupts it and pops it out. I don't want to have to open my inventory, right click the essence, left click the essence monster, because that's what I have to open my inventory. That's a keyboard button. That's normally not close to where you don't open your inventory in maps very often. The game doesn't want you to do that, mostly. You have to open your inventory. You have to find the essence in your inventory, right click it, and then move your mouse all the way to the essence and left click it. That's like a lot of kind of, they're not difficult actions, but they're a lot more precise than what a lot of people in maps are often doing, where they're just like walking around shooting arrows at the general direction of monsters or something. It feels out of place to actually corrupt a monster in a map, so I often don't even do it. Music Goblin Band Mutable. This is like very important for the integrity of the game, because whenever I'm like I accidentally end up hearing that because there's somebody else in an area, it just like, it does like fucking psychic damage to me. It sounds so bad and out of place. Like, the stash mimic is funny, sure, but the Music Goblin thing sucks. Recombinators, they can stay, but I want them to be actually rare. I want the days of picking up 50 bases and using 4,000 alteration orbs to make like a mirror tier item to be gone. Because Recombinator is just kind of like free. Like, you have to feed it like your junk uniques that you weren't gonna pick up anyway. All it kind of does right now is just, oh, it's bad. I hate it. Imprint only remembers explicit modifiers. I think this would be really funny. I think this would be funny. I know that there's like, most of you like look at this and will probably think, sure, I guess. Why does that matter? And then there's probably like maybe some. I don't think the people who would be mad about me saying this. Oh wait, I spelled this wrong. Let me just. It's whatever. What? Imprint only remembers explicit mods. Oh my god, I spelled it wrong again. Jeez. Honestly, that would be very funny if it just like was a troll and I drew more attention to it. That wasn't intentional. T17 map boss Maven invite. I think this would be so funny. I want to see clips of like hardcore players dying to that shit because it's so fucked up. I want to see this. And of course, if we get this, we got to have Uber Maven summoning some of those T17 bosses during the brain phase. Free Square, Power Siphon Mines big nerf. I think this is a given. Power Siphon Mines, it's I think it's just like objectively overpowered. It's kind of like if you had more damage than old DD Ignite. I think I never played old DD Ignite. I was going to right before the league they nerfed it. It's like they do that, right? The DD Ignite. You get like that much damage, but it's also like not a dot, and you only have to press one button because we have detonation automation now. Ephemeral Edge gives 20% less ES. Something like this. I feel like the things people are doing with blue health is kind of messed up. Maybe this is like Lightning Strike big nerf instead. I don't know. I don't like seeing like that. Where like every single gauntlet build, I think this league pretty much was that. Except for people doing worse things. New content that fucks over SSF players. I think this is self-explanatory. They're gonna just like add something um fucked up, like something really good that's like unrollable, like charms from Affliction or something. Um I hated Affliction. I kind of like, yeah. I was also like, didn't help that I was playing a really bad build in Righteous Fire when I it's was not good at what I wanted to do. Anyway, I think new content will fuck over SSF players somehow. Divination cards drop again. I want divination cards to drop again so that I can like target farm a fucking lightning coil or something in SSF. Thanks. Sanctum removed. I mean, they can keep it if like a normal build can go into Sanctum and like do a little bit of it. That's fine. So there's this class called Trickster in the game, and there's a for some reason, even though the game's been out for like 10 years at least, it only has one ascendancy, and I really think they should add two more ascendancies to the Trickster class. I hope they add that. WASD. I know they're not going to give us WASD because apparently the official stance is once we port all the MTX to PoE2 and then port the PoE2 models back to PoE1, then we'll add WASD or something, which is fucked up and seems kind of stupid. I guess maybe like putting WASD into PoE1 might require like some fucked up engine overhauls just because of how spaghetti certain shit is. But like, oh come on. PoE1 is the good product. You gotta make sure it's very good. PoE2's not ready yet. Like, oh, like if only they released this like 5 months ago or 4 months ago even, and they didn't like take all of the PoE1 devs and then they released a PoE2 patch that everyone seemed to hate. I didn't play it. I'm not gonna play PoE2 till it's fucking out or like seems to be more ready. Einhar shut up button. Sometimes when you're farming a ton of beasts, it's like, damn, dude, shut up. I feel like if Einhar just shows up in your map and you're vibing, it's pretty funny. Just like, yeah, Einhar, let's do it. Also, kind of related to that, per character volume sliders. Now this is very controversial, but I think every single player class should have its own speaking volume slider along with every like other NPC in this giant stupid fucking menu. Simple reason. When I'm playing a trickster, I don't want to hear him speak. The things he has to say are just like fucking stupid. Pretty much every other class I think is fine. Like I like what Witch has to say. I don't mind what Templar has to say. I think Ranger has pretty good stuff to say. Marauder, I like what Marauder has to say. I haven't played much Duelist. I don't know if I'd want him to shut up. I don't feel like I've been very annoyed by him before. So he can probably still talk. I've never played Scion. I do have like a Scion character in Twilight Strand that sometimes I'll kill a Hillock on in SSF. But I don't know. I think they're gonna accidentally re-add Sextants, but worse. And this really sucks. Because I remember I started playing in Tota, and I got 3 Void Stones in SSF that league. I killed Eater Exarch, and then I killed a Maven with my like pretty shitty Bone Shatter character. And I remember like at some point I like got a Sextant and like used it on one of my Void Stones, and then it just like added a weird thing. I was like, what? That I don't care about this, and I just like ignored Sextants because I figured that like the mechanic wasn't fun. And Apparently I was right, and that was the consensus at the time, is everyone thought sextants were really powerful but not fun. I think they'll like accidentally add sextants again because like the tablet thing in PoE 2, that is kind of cool. It is like pretty sextanty, where you have to roll a thing and then put it to like affect your maps. I don't like yeah, I think we're gonna get that. New thing replaces harvest swap. I think they're gonna add a new mechanic and like not only harvest swap, but some of the beast crafting options. I think they just like kind of feel a little out of place. That are like they're not like modifying an item. They're like rolling an item, kind of like how so harvest swap. I'm talking about like transforming fragments or like resistance. I think resistance swap kind of fits on harvest thematically, but changing like your scarabs, your essences and shit, and I feel like that doesn't fit in harvest, and I'll talk more about that at the end. So unfortunately, gold stays. So I'm pretty sure like some designers at GGG like strongly believe that Faustus needs gold as a cost in order to prevent like bots, which is pretty true, I guess. But if gold is only used at Faustus to like respec and trade currency, what are SSF players going to do with it? Nothing. Right now, we just kind of put it all into King's March and then it turns into shit. And I don't know, it feels bad. It feels like when mobile games have like you have to buy their custom currency and then you spend that so that it's just connected from money. Except instead of being predatory monetization, it's like different ish. I don't know. I think gold is going to be like used in more systems. And lastly, I think there's going to be a pick and choose endgame mechanics thing, because right now there's like a lot of like little things that are kind of sprinkled in that aren't on the Atlas tree. Notably, there's the reflecting mist. There is the wildwood. The wildwood is kind of on the tree because there's that one keystone that like puts wisps into the bosses if you kill all the monsters. There's nameless seer. I might have said that already. There's twilight crater that I feel like goes in this category, even though it's probably a settlers exclusive thing. I think, and like we also are sentinels in T16 maps now. I think they might be. Oh yeah, I think they do appear, and I just like I kind of ignore them because I didn't play in Sentinel League and they feel weird, and I don't know when to press the button. And pressing it immediately feels wasteful. I feel like there's going to be sort of like a PoE2 simul like Atlas tree for each mechanic almost, but you like pick which one. That sounds bad. Um, I think you're gonna have like sort of customizable Atlas trees, almost like cluster jewels, except instead of like having to craft the Atlas tree to like get the mods you want, like idols. Fuck idols. I didn't play Frekia because I looked at idols and thought that sucks. That's not fun. Um, and I think I was right. I think the things people didn't like about idols are the things I thought I wouldn't like about idols. And like, yeah, you can make OP strategies, but idols. Ugh. Anyway, I think there's going to be like a pick and choose kind of thing, which is going to be very good because it means, for example, I can choose to like say, oh, I don't want any Sanctum books to drop. Okay, I think maybe it'll be like a little like mini side secondary Atlas tree where you can like say, oh, here are like the tertiary, not even secondary, tertiary mechanics that I want to like exist in my map, and I can turn, or maybe like you just block them on the normal Atlas tree, and then you get like a big boost for in exchange for doing that, even though they're which makes sense because I'd be spending my Atlas points on something that helps me instead of just turning off something I don't want. Like the wildwood is kind of annoying. And maybe it makes the nameless seer more common. He's pretty fun. Alright, that's my bingo for 3.26. Here's my old one. I made this like a fucking year ago, basically, it feels like at this point. But this is really what I hope for. Thanks for watching. If you're still somehow here, leave a comment and say what's on your bingo board. Give me the engagement and like, subscribe.